Shalom. Ta-da, everybody. Thank you. And hello for being here with this segment today um, in Ancient Hebrew with Chris Adams. And I'm Chris Adams, by the way. Today's segment is going to be very good. I'm very excited to be teaching this segment today on the word and names in Hebrew. And the Hebrew word for name is Shem. And Shem is Noach, son. And that's who I'm going to be starting with first today. But let me go in a little bit of detail about the Hebrew names and how they actually work using the ancient Hebrew picture language meanings. Hebrews were named according to their characters. And what this means is whenever a Hebrew was born, his name gave the identity of who he is. And the letters in his name showed not just his characteristics, but it showed exactly what his life was, what it is, and what it was to become. This is very important. You won't learn this in any other language. This only comes from the ancient Hebrew picture language. And picture language has 5 meanings to each letter. There's 22 letters from the Aleph to the Ta. But they all have 5 meanings. And one where they were a picture. 2, they were a word and a letter. And they have a meaning and a number. But let's get into the word today. Yeshua Mashiach, I thank you, I praise you, Baruch your holy name. Be separated. Separate us from this Babylon tongues and languages of the world and bring us to your Achad. Bring us to your one pure, holy, Kadesh word. Yeshua Mashiach. Amen. And we say Amen because Amen is the Hebrew word for faith. Without faith, we're dead. Okay, but today in this segment, let's use the word Shem. And Shem was Noach's son. We know the word Shem means name. And what is very, very important about the Hebrew word Shem being the name is first, Shin. It's the first letter in the name of Shem. And that means to destroy. It also means fire. It can mean consume. And it means tooth. But the last letter is the Nun. Or the Mem, And the Mem, it means the blood. And it means water. And it also means to consume. And so we know the story of Noach. When they entered the ark, and it began to rain. Now, Yahuwah had already told Noach to enter this ark because it was going to rain. And there had been no rain before ever on this planet in the earth. Matter of fact, the only way that the earth had ever seen any watering was it seeped up through the ground. Just like in Genesis, when the Aluf was upon the waters. And there we have the Aleph and the Mem. And he spoke in the Amen, Aleph, Mem, and Nun. And it says life came up through the waters. See, we just see the experience in the letters of how when Yahushua spoke in faith, Amen, that it happened in that exact order. And this is what the names of our characters, they gave them their identity of the life they lived, how it works. But Shem, being the Hebrew word name, when he came out of the ark after all the destruction and the flood and everything, you see, it was destruction. The world was destroyed. And it was destroyed by water. The only 2 letters in Shem's name is Shin and Mem. Destroyed by water. Don't you know that that was the only Hebrew language? That is the only language at that time. And he knew his name meant destroyed by water. This was easy for him. You don't ever read any parts of the Bible where Shem had ever said, Father, are you sure Yahuwah said? Shem knew his name. But when he left the ark, he traveled south. And when Shem traveled south, he settled in Yahushalam. Yes, in Yashriel, where the Mashiach, Yahusha, put himself and built his name and was upon that tall and shed his blood. You see there? He put his name there. He destroyed sin. And he poured out his blood and his water on that tall, the Aluf, the Aleph, Mem, Tall, Amet, first, middle, and last letters in the Hebrew. It's very, very important we understand the life of Shem, because Shem's name carried the name where Yahusha put his name to destroy sin. Now, that right there, I could stop, and many of you would say, that's great teaching. But there's more. There is a lot more. There's a lot more names. So let's use the Mashiach's name, Yeshua. Being during this dispensation, that the time that of his life, this was the correct way, pronunciation, that it was written and recorded, even on artifacts, was Yahshua. Yes, different dispensations teach us Yahusha, Yahushua, and Yahshua, and Yahuwah. But let's use the word Yahshua for a moment, because these teachings right here, we can't deny. It's not a coincidence. It's not something that this man right here, Chris Adams, is making up. This is Hebrew. This is the original creation Hebrew picture language. Even though the scripts have changed 5 times, that doesn't mean that they don't still have the same meaning or value as they did and they held in the ancient picture language, because they do. They're just through different stages and exiles. They were changed. They were hidden. They were a lot of things happened. And I'm not trying to go in all that detail, but we don't see this picture language today as much. It's only people like myself and others that's encouraged me, that I've listened to and I've followed, that I found this ancient picture language, that I'm able to be here today to teach you. And so it's very important, because in Zephaniah 3, verses 8 and 9. Let me go ahead and get my Bible out. I don't teach a whole lot straight out from the scriptures. A lot of this is done by the rock and encouraging for me to be able to do this. But I want you to see what these scriptures tell us. But in Zephaniah, it talks about a pure language. Now, what is a pure language? Many of us think that, well, pure means there's nothing else like it, or that it's understandable. You know, some people I've even heard get around me and talk and say, just purely tell me the truth. That means we're just trying to describe things and tell people in our language. But pure language goes a little bit deeper than just telling the truth, because a pure language describes itself. And this Hebrew language is so pure that it does describe itself. As a matter of fact, this is the characteristics. This is the attributes of Yahushua. Every 22 letters with all 5 of their meanings. These are the attributes, the characteristics, the identity. The identity is hidden in this Hebrew picture language. And the identity of a Hebrew was his character. And this is very, very important. Now, I don't always know what I'm going to do whenever I get to teaching. And I don't always know where I'm going to go. Nothing's planned. I listen to the rock as he's teaching me and pushing and driving me, and I'm following in his footsteps. It was Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 8. Therefore wait on me, says Yahuwah, until the day I rise up for plunder. My determination is to gather the nations to my assembly of kingdoms, to pour on them my indignation, all my fierce anger. All the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. And when I'm reading through here and I find the words devoured with fire, you see Yahuwah is speaking, and he just brought the middle letter in his name, Yeshua, the fire to destroy. You see, this shows his identity, because this is prophetic of Yeshua. It says, for then I will restore to the peoples a pure language. A pure language. He's going to restore this ancient picture language, people, that they all may call on the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. This is who he's referring to. To serve him with the Chai, with one accord. For then I will restore to the people pure language. We're going back, people. We're not going forward. We're going back. The Hebrew mindset sends us back. Remember the Shabbat. A lot of us have to go forward to get to the Shabbat. But the whole time he's saying, remember. 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 That's what this book here does. It gives us the remembrances. And I'm trying to teach the remembrances of these Hebrew Aluphbeit picture languages and their names. These people in these scriptures, they knew what to do according to exactly what Yahuwah spoke to them. They didn't second guess. They knew. They didn't compare it to other things. They already knew it.